All right, everyone. Thanks for, excuse me, joining us today. Both of us are suffering a little bit from nastiness, but hopefully it shouldn't impact the presentation too much. I think
Don't
you're
worry,
going to
we're
get
not contagious over webinars. That's
right,
good news.
exactly.
You
At
can't
least we
catch
hope not. Yeah.
this.
Enrique from Berlin. All right, nice. Yeah, keep letting us know where you're from, where you're at today. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this presentation. It doesn't, this type of more sophisticated modern email marketing doesn't have to be super complicated. It doesn't have to be confusing, but you just have to get off to a good start. And the great thing is, once you have a foundational sequence that's set up properly and you understand how the technology works, you can then start tweaking based on observing how people go through the sequence. Where did they get stuck? Where do they drop off? Would another piece of information work here for this particular type of person? So it's really cool what you can do, but the most important thing is start simple, start smart, and then go from there. So with that, I'm just going to turn it over to Isa and let her run with it because this is a great presentation.
Awesome. Well, I'm so excited about this. Thank you all for being here from all over the world, Ireland and Sydney and Mexico, just in my quick view right there. That's really exciting. And hi, Brian Gardner, who's peeking in today. Hello, hello.
Yeah,
And you all,
I saw Gardner and Sonia are lurking on the presentation, which is good.
yay, hi. We love lurkers. Great Copyblogger people here today. And there's also some other ConvertKit people here today. So you all will see in the chat Vanessa and Ben. So say hi to them. They also work at ConvertKit like me, and they'll be helping out with all of your questions and all of your comments. So please keep this chat coming as you're commenting in the chat. Make sure it says all panelists and attendees so everyone can see all the wonderful things you're saying. All throughout this workshop, I will be watching the chat. Ben and Vanessa will be too. I like to see what you're thinking, what your comments are. So please keep that coming. If you have a question though, put it in the Q&A box. That way we won't miss it in all of the scrolling. So we'll make sure to get to all of your questions at the end. Any that Ben and Vanessa maybe didn't get to. And of course, if Brian sees one that he thinks, oh, let's do this now. Tell Brian, interrupt me anytime. And we will jump in. We want to make sure that we answer any of your questions because you all are here live. That's really cool that you're taking time out of your very busy day to hang out with us and learn about email marketing. So I want to make sure this is a really good use of your time. And one of the best ways to do that is to make a really good use of the chat and the Q&A box. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in and start sharing my slides with you because we have a ton of great content to go through. And we are talking about turning leads into clients with modern email marketing. And my promises to you is that you're going to leave this workshop with an actual idea for an email sequence that you can create. One that will be really, really ideal for where you are in your business right now. So I want to encourage you to close out everything else that you're doing right now. I know the temptation to listen to a webinar and then do 500 things while you're listening. I am always tempted to do that myself when I'm on webinars, but I know that you get the most out of it if you close everything out and really focus. So instead of doing two things at once, focus on the workshop, not because I'm important, because your business is. And so what I would love for you to do with that extra attention is actually take notes on your business, on the ideas you're going to get for what you can do with email to help you get more clients. That's what this hour is all about. And Diwa, is that how you say your name? Tell me how to say it, but it says so excited in Philly, 2 exclamation marks. I'm a big exclamation person. So I'm excited, you're excited, and we're going to jump right in. And excuse my coughing. As I said, we're not contagious over webinars, so you should be safe. My name is Isa, and I am the webinar producer at ConvertKit. We're an email service provider, so when you want to send emails to many potential clients at once, that is what we help you do, but in a way that feels really personal and in a way that gets to their inbox and doesn't get lost in spam. But who I really want to introduce you to is Ugly Sweater Isa. This is me 8 years ago. Way before I had an email list, way before I had my own business, I had a day job. This was our office Christmas party. And I had a dream to be a writer. I wanted to publish a book. I wanted to have my own business. I had no idea how to do any of that. But I started doing exactly what you're doing right now. I went on free teachings online, and 8 years ago, that was free teleseminars. So I would dial these numbers and get on these free phone calls and listen to what it took to build an audience. And I learned very quickly that that was something you needed to sell something, right? You need clients, you need people who are interested in the work that you're doing or in the words that you provide. And so I started putting those things into practice little by little. And a year later, I quit my job and I had a full-time business. My book was published. I was traveling the country, speaking and serving as a marketing consultant. And I also used my email list very heavily. And it was not a giant email list, by the way, it never was, but it was the right email list of people who were really interested in my work. And I've got to tell you, this is true. I got an email last week from an email automation that I wrote, and you'll know what that is at the end of this hour, but it basically an automated email that I wrote 6 years ago. Okay, 6 years ago, I wrote it, I automated it, and it has been running for years. I don't really even actively do that business anymore. And I got an email from someone who got that automated email from me while I was off doing a whole other thing with my life and wanted to buy my book for all of their incoming freshmen for their whole college. And that would not have happened if I didn't have these automated emails going. So they are very, very powerful. And just like Brian said, this does not have to be complicated. And so I'm going to show you some ideas for what you can do to have that running for yourself. And I would love to know where you all are at right now when it comes to email. And sometimes the best way to gauge that is how many email subscribers you have. And 0 is a great number, nowhere to go but up. But I like to think of email subscribers, no matter what, as people. So if you have 5 people who want to know what you're doing, that's pretty great. Those 5 people were referred to dinner. That'd be pretty good. It looks like we've got some beautiful zeros, and we've got a 19,000, which is a lot. That's a very big, awesome list. So kudos to you. Let us know what you're doing with those. Abdul has 40 beautiful subscribers. I like that. Katie has 1,000-ish. Linda is just starting out. Thank you all for sharing. So many incredible variety of numbers. So those of you who are in the thousands already, please feel free to share your advice with everyone here too. That's pretty fantastic. So if you're at 0, remember that all those people with thousands, they started at 0 too. That's where everyone starts. And for those of you with lots of subscribers, my hope is that this workshop will also give you some inspiration for more ways that you can really, really use those subscribers and make the most of that community that you're building. So kudos to all of you. And I would also love to know who we have here. What is the service that you sell or product, if any of you are selling products, but I imagine a lot of you are probably selling services, writing services, but there might be a big variety. So I would love to know in the chat, what is it that you sell? So Nelson, thank you. Financial consulting, Matthew, vacation rentals, Liz, online custom printing, copywriting, real estate, publishing, lots of freelance writing, got some fellow writers in the room, and nutrition counseling, Jessica, awesome. This is what I get excited about, right? I don't care so much about email as much as I care about Enrique getting more clients to ghostwrite for entrepreneurs. Like that is why we exist and what we get really excited about. So this is our goal today, is to give you some more ideas for you to get more clients to hire you for the awesome work that you're doing. Acceleration program for startups. Angel, great name for that too. Love it. What we have found, we did a survey last year, and what people tell us over and over again is that the vast majority of income is directly tied to their email list. And this was the exact numbers that we found, that people who were using email marketing versus not at all were earning just a little bit more than those who weren't using it at all. And X Mental, by the way, said you quit your dead-end job to open your own business on Facebook advertising for a small business. So congratulations, Vanessa, will give you a little confetti. That's the kind of stuff we love to hear. And email, we have found, has been a really big part of that for a lot of people earning a living online. And Brian, I would love to know, has that been true for what you all see in the Copyblogger world, in your own business? How has email played a part in really creating that sustainable revenue? Oh, Brian, I think you might be on mute.
Sorry, I was smart enough to mute myself and dumb enough not to unmute myself. No, going back to 1998, email has been at the center of every business that I've started. And it's still as important today. In fact, two of my, newer projects are almost exclusively based on email, because I know how valuable it is, as an audience builder, but also as still the best conversion environment for people to spend money either on products or services. So
love it. Vanessa said, shout out to the 90s. So I love
that's right,
that.
man.
Love it. So email worked in the 90s and it's still working today, which is pretty phenomenal. And the good news, as I mentioned, is that you don't have to have all the people on your email list. You only need the right people. And those are the ones we're going to be talking about today. As I mentioned, I work at ConvertKit. We're an email service provider. And this is a plaque that Nathan Barry, our founder, actually made for us and gave to us in a retreat in Idaho. And this is why we exist. This is what our platform is for. And this is also why we do these workshops. So at the end of this workshop, I'm going to show you how you can do some of this stuff in ConvertKit. I'm also going to share with you a lot of free stuff, all the free stuff that we want to give you to help you do some of that stuff. So we won't be asking you to buy anything today. I'll show you some stuff at the end, but I want you to know that this workshop, these strategies can help you no matter what email tool that you use. So you will walk away no matter what with some actual strategies to help you get more clients. And Rowena's already excited about the free stuff. Yay. So what we're going to go through is how to use email automations to get more clients. We're going to actually plan an email funnel that gets your ideal clients to hire you. So if you haven't gotten stuff to take notes yet, get it now, because we're working on your business over this hour. You're the most important person in this room right now. And so I want to make sure we get a plan for you by the end of this hour. And then I'm also going to show you how simply you can set up that funnel. You don't need to be a super tech person. You don't need to be a super email person. I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. Super email person. That's a new phrase I just made up. And then stick around to the end, because one of those bonuses is just for those of you who are here live. So definitely stick around to the end if you can, because that will be just for you all as a thank you for coming live. It's so much more fun to have an audience. So first, we're going to talk about how to use email automations to get more clients. And you already saw a little bit of a hint of that in my little story about that automated email that someone got and then wanted to buy a bunch of things from me. And it was the email I wrote 6 years ago. I want that for you too. And this is the basics of what I did and what people are doing to make that happen. How did that happen? It's very, very simple. And some of you may be doing a lot of this stuff already. So the first step is to gather emails, right? Which a lot of you are already doing, right? But for any of my zeros out there, right, that would be the first step. And it's as simple as putting some kind of form on your site to gather emails, and I'll show you how to do that. You want to give away something valuable versus just subscribe to my newsletter. What the pros do is they give away something valuable in exchange for the email address, ideally something that's really going to help people solve a problem. Then you're going to want to share that form everywhere to grow your list. And of course, not just everywhere, but where your people are. You're going to want to be out there sharing your work, sharing your free thing where your potential clients are. And that's it. That's how you begin to gather emails. And then, of course, you're going to have this list of people, these people who are interested in what you do. And then you're going to want to actually write to them. So if any of you have a list and you're like, I haven't been writing to them, or not sure what to say, that's okay. That's totally normal. But it's never too late to start. And I know we have a lot of writers in the room anyway, so I'm sure that is pretty simple for a lot of you. But just in case you're like, what do I write in emails? It doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need to write essays. Simply think about what you can give away to help people. A great email can be one line, one question. You can also, it's a really great way to share your backstory, share why you start this business, lessons learned. People like to get to know you. Sharing resources. You don't always have to be coming up with original stuff in your emails. You can share your favorite websites, your favorite podcasts, your favorite resources in your industry to help your people. And then, of course, one of the best things to use email for is to teach, because when you teach people, you earn their trust. You establish yourself as an authority, and building trust over the internet is something that can be hard to do unless you're teaching. Then it becomes actually really, really easy, because if you start to help someone for free, you're the kind of person that they actually will want to start paying, because they'll think, wow, they've already helped me so much for free. How much will they help me if I become one of their clients or if I pay them for what they do? And so that is something that we have seen work really, really well in the emails that help people actually get clients. And the reason you want to email people often is that email helps people remember you. I read a blog once from this photographer who took pictures of someone, and they ended up becoming friends on Facebook. And then months later, she saw that client post on Facebook, "Hey, does anyone know a good photographer? I need some pictures of my other kid." And she was like, "Oh my gosh, did she hate my work? I have to ask." And she Facebook messaged her and asked her. And she said, "Oh, she just forgot." Like, she just forgot about her. And I know that sounds crazy, but we have so much content coming in. And so what email also does, having some kind of routine, helps people remember you and keeps you at the top of their mind. Because even if they don't hire you right away, it does not mean that they're not going to want to hire you eventually. And then the reason why we're here today is automation. So once you collect those emails and you start to write those emails, what we think is a really great idea, instead of writing new emails every single week for the rest of your life or every month, is to actually write your best emails, automate them so that they run constantly for you every time a new person joins your list. That's what I did for my very first business. I really only wrote a couple emails, set them on automation, and they've been working for years. So this is the kind of thing you can do too. And there are a lot of different ways and reasons you can use automation. I think all of them are really great that I'm going to show you. These are all of the ones that people are using to drive sales, to get clients. And I want to encourage you, as we go through this workshop, to really focus in on one that you think is going to make the biggest difference for you now, and the one that best fits where you are in your business. All of them are great, but you don't want to get overwhelmed to try to do all of them at once. And before I show you those, one of the goals of automations, as I mentioned, is that you're not going to spend that much time in email. So Brittany is a freelancer, and she told me that she only spends about 1 hour per week on email. She's a ConvertKit customer as well. So that's the goal of all this. I'm going to show you some things that you'll want to set up that may take some time, right? Your first months getting it all together. But once you're done, you're done. And that's our goal at ConvertKit. You see my little wall sign, create every day. Our goal is that you're spending more time doing the things you really want to do, creating your work, serving your clients, and less time in email. And that's really the goal of automations. So some things you can automate to help you get there. Number one is a welcome survey. So that's an email you could automatically send out to anyone who joins your list to get a sense of who they are, which will help you serve them better and know exactly how you can serve them with your services or your products. You can also automate client onboarding. So when someone becomes a client, instead of having to onboard them over and over again, you can have an automation where the same questions you need to ask, the same information you need to give them, that's going to be happening automatically every time. You can also automate a check-in question. This is something Brittany actually does, where she just has an automation that will email her clients like 2 months after she's worked with them and just ask, like, how's it going? Do you need any more help with anything? It's like 2 questions in an email that's automatically sent, and she gets a ton of repeat business from that 1-2 sentence email. You could also do that to ask for referrals as well. Another thing that people do that works really well is some kind of evergreen blogger newsletter. And evergreen just means it's this thing that is relevant no matter when it's being sent. So it's not necessarily specific based on time. So this is something I do. So I have an evergreen kind of mini blog that goes out every Wednesday, and I write it whenever I have time. So early in the morning or late at night, I'll maybe write a couple emails and just leave them there, and everyone who's in that sequence, they will get them that Wednesday. And so you kind of build up your best content, and then it just kind of runs for you. So that's a really great way to keep yourself top of mind for your clients, for your potential clients, so that they don't forget about you. And then my personal favorite, the one we're going to really focus on today, is having a sequence that starts with a lead magnet. So you're giving away something for free that's really going to attract your specific potential clients. And then the goal of the end of that sequence is to get them to hire you. So whether that's purchasing something directly online, or whether that's scheduling a consultation call or filling out a proposal request, whatever that endpoint is, I would love to know if you want to share in the chat what that is for you. That is the one we're going to focus on throughout the rest of this workshop and actually show you how to set this one up, because I think this is the best one to help you get more clients. But you can really use automations and use the things I show you to do any of these things. And I'll show you exactly how to set those up, as well as how to segment people too, so you can get really specific on who is on your email list and really make your emails personal. So now I want to help you plan an email funnel that gets your ideal clients to hire you. And this is the top part to take out your notes if you haven't already. So the first question I want you to answer, and this does not need to be perfect, by the way, gut reaction is really good. We're just brainstorming here. And if you'd love to share your answers in the chat, I would love to see what you all are thinking. So number one, what is the one service you'd like to sell more of, or maybe product for some of you? What is that one that would make the biggest difference if you were getting more clients to buy or to hire you for this thing? So Nelson knows right away, outsourced CFO services, love it. Philip, online class. Maria, sales funnel. Short tip. That sounds like a great name. I'm sure I'm saying it wrong, but jewelry, love it. I'm so excited. You all know what you're doing. So web design, personal tech consulting, and write this down. We're actually planning a real funnel to help Linda sell more personalized tote bags. That's what's happening right now. So write that down, get really focused for this particular exercise. And what we do right now, by the way, you can repeat and do it for any other product or service. But right now, I just want you to focus on the big one, the one that would make the biggest difference in your business right now if you were selling more or getting hired more. And for some of you, that might be also scheduling a consultation call or something. So I also want you to think, what is that purchase step, right? What is the one thing that you'd want them to do in an email that would get them as close as possible to giving you money? So for some of you, it will be buying right in the email. And that will be great. For some of you, the first step might be to schedule a call, right? Whatever that is, make sure that is really clear for you. What is that action you want them to take at the end of an email sequence? A little spoiler alert, you can see we're going backwards here, but don't even worry about that. You're going to see how all of this connects in just a second. Number two, again, gut reaction. What are the frequently asked questions or maybe common objections people have to hiring you, or maybe even just a service like yours or buying a product like yours? What are the questions people have? What are the objections they might have? What are the things they need to know before they're ready to make that purchase? So Natalie wants people to make weekly massage appointments, right? So what do people need to know? Or what are their objections typically before they book a massage with someone online, for example? What are those things? So think about maybe some of the common questions you've already gotten. You can also list in this section here, what are the things that differentiate you? What are the things that when you do share with people, they're like, ah, yes, this is for me. What are some of those common objections? So anything that you may have already gotten, write those down. If you have no idea yet, then you definitely want to have some one-on-one sales conversations with people, whether that's in person, on the phone, or online, and make sure you've tried to sell your thing one-to-one, because just a couple of those conversations and you will know exactly what you want to put in emails, because you'll know those same questions people have over and over again. And share those in the chat, what those objections or frequently asked questions might be, because sometimes there's a lot of crossover. And so you might help someone who's thinking, I'm not sure, right? Some of the common ones are going to be cost. How much does this cost? Or is this really worth the money, right? Those are some things you're going to want to tackle, as well as any other questions they might have. So write those down and start to brainstorm. Number three, who is your service for? And I encourage you to get really specific here. Who exactly are you helping? We really encourage you to niche down. Seth Godin talks about getting really focused on who you're for and then ignoring everybody else. That's a really great way to stand out in today's world, right? There's a lot of content out there. There are a lot of things that people can get and purchase. And today, the really, really best way to cut through that noise and cut through that clutter is if you're getting really specific and you're truly trying to help a particular group of people solve a particular problem. So think about that. Who are you for? Who has been drawn to you naturally? And what frustrations do you solve? And if you're thinking, it's kind of this person and this person, or there's two different types of groups, that would be really great too, because I'm going to show you how you can actually speak to them specifically too. So if you have more than one, Write that down too and tell us in the chat as well. And then number 4, what are the different stages, goals, budgets, industries, or frustrations that those people have? So you can see, like I was talking about, personalization and segmentation even more. So as you think about, okay, who are you really for, right? Who are you targeting? I want you to get even more specific. Are there different versions of that person that you serve? So are some people more beginner and some people more advanced? Are they going to be coming to you for 2 particular goals? Maybe there's 2 particular industries. Maybe they're going to have 2 different pain points or 2 different frustrations. It could really be anything. It doesn't even have to be 2. But for this particular type of automation, it will be really helpful if you have at least 2 ideas in your mind of 2 different things that really separate people who you are for in a way that you can speak to them even more personally, where they're going to be like, oh my gosh, you get me, you're reading my mind. That's what we're going for. So it starts by thinking about who you might be for and what categories they might fall into. And please tell us in the chat what you're thinking or what you're writing. I would love to see. And number 5, what content do you have or could create that teaches your potential clients something related to what you sell? This is the big one. This is the one that will really help you attract the right people for your email list. You don't need everyone, right? And it's what you do here that will really help you with that. So think, what content do you already have? You might already have it. Or what could you create that teaches your potential clients something related to what you sell? Here are some examples of things that we have seen work really well, but these are definitely not the only things. You're welcome to be creative. You know your service best and you know your clients best, right? And you can always experiment. We've seen free checklists work really well, or kind of like a cheat sheet, right? An email course is something that we've seen work really well, especially if you have a teaching related product, as I saw many of you do. And you can make an email course in the same way that I show you how to make a sequence in just a little bit. You could also do a case study to show the results you've gotten someone and kind of teach other people how to get those too, whether or not they hire you. It can be some kind of free style guide. I know we got some jewelry in the room. It could be a guide on how to style or care for that jewelry. It can also be a free sample of what you sell. The key is that you want to make sure that whatever it is, it's something that gives someone a result, something that truly helps them, even if they don't buy from you at all. That is what you really want to be thinking about. And I want to encourage you. What gets a lot of people stuck is that they get so overwhelmed by what they're going to give away for free, and then they freeze. This does not need to be perfect. This does not need to be some big ebook or perfect course that you're giving away in exchange for an email. I encourage people to literally, and this is what I do, set a timer for like an hour and create whatever you can create in an hour. Time yourself, do it fast, because I think whatever you know that you have to sprout out very quickly, that's not something that you've only actually spent an hour learning. The stuff that comes up fast are the things that you really know after years and years and years. That's your best stuff. So just create it fast and get it out there and start testing. Also, my favorite 2 words when it comes to collecting emails is coming soon. So I will just say, hey, I have a free email course coming soon. And then I will make it when I am ready. So you can see here are the notes that we've taken, right? And if you flip these notes that we just took, you have just created a funnel, a sales funnel, in fact, to help you get more clients. And this is a process you can use for any product, for any service, anytime you're thinking about how you can sell more of that thing and how you can get more clients through email. So here's a much better looking version of that, right? So someone comes into your funnel by getting your free content, or maybe they're inquiring about your services as well. That's another way that people can enter your top of your funnel. So that's something you can think about doing too. I know someone who, for her services, if you want to see her pricing PDF, you just have to give her their email address, and then they're essentially inquiring about the services. So they can't even see prices unless they give an email address, and then that pricing guide is going to be automatically sent to them using automations, and I'll show you that too. So if you're really stuck, that's also another really simple way you can do the top of your funnel. It does not need to be complicated. Then you're going to want to get to know your lead a little bit. I'm going to show you how you can do a survey to start to get a sense of who they are so you can personalize this even more. Rowena's head just exploded with this funnel exercise. Great emoji, thank you. Then you're going to be answering some of those frequently asked questions with an automated email or two. And then at the end, you're going to say, hey, here's how you can hire me, or here's where to schedule that first call so we can get a proposal, right? And I hope you can see in this funnel that the hire part happens at the end. It happens later. And that's what people often really hate about sales and feel icky about sales. And the reason is for all the bad experiences we've ever had when someone put that hire part at the top of the funnel. And they're like, hi, my name is Isa and you should buy this thing. And people are like, and you want to run away, right? If you've ever had that experience at a store, right? It's very, very awkward. What's really, really great about what actually works with sales is that you don't need to be icky, you don't need to be annoying, and you don't need to be in people's face. The hire part actually comes at the end, and when you do it this way, it's a lot more natural. You're going to be teaching people, getting to know them. It's about them first, and that's what actually good sales is, right? We all like to buy stuff. We don't think of that as selling because those are the times people are putting our needs first and what we want first, right? That's fun, and you can do that too. And then at the end, you will let them know, hey, here's how you can hire me. And by that time, you've gotten to know them, you've answered their questions, you've helped them solve a problem in their own life. They're going to be excited to hire you. I have people who get booked up and actually have to turn away people because they do this so well. And when you do it this way, it's also a really great way to encourage referrals, right? You treat people like people. You really think about how to personalize things. You help them even if they don't ever buy anything from you, and then make sure, and then those people are going to feel so taken care of by you that they will often tell other people about you. I've heard this happen all the time. They'll tell other people, hey, I had this problem and I got this person's free email course. You can get it over here. People will actually tell other people about your free online stuff, about what you do. Word of mouth is a really powerful thing on the internet still. I hear this all the time. Oh, and as a reminder in the chat too, as you all are saying some amazing stuff, make sure it says all panelists and attendees so everyone can see what you're saying. Like Natalie loved the idea of requiring an email to get prices. So I'm glad you like that, Natalie. So the next step is, how do you get people from getting your free content or getting your pricing guide, right, to actually hiring you, right? And that's where those automated emails come in that I've been telling you about. So now I want to show you how you can begin to set up the bones of that funnel in minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do that. And as I do that, Brian, anything you want to add? Have you all used automated emails at all? And what advice do you have for people when it comes to thinking through that for their business?
Yes, we use them quite a bit. So far, I think you've hit on a lot of just the keys that people mess up, which is not thinking about who they're talking to first, not understanding their problems, not putting yourself in their shoes from an empathy standpoint, and too soon going to me, please hire me, So we'll talk more about that later on because we've got some ideas on that. But
Awesome.
This is solid. Yeah.
Yay. Thank you, Brian. And Clay said, Clay's using an email course, Lead Magnet, by the way, and said very effective. So glad you like that, Clay. For any of you thinking about that, it can be a really good one. So this is ConvertKit. This is my demo account. And you can see I'm here in automations. And visual automations is just a very, very simple way to make a funnel, to make an email sequence, just like we talked about. So I want to show you a way that you can do this. Now, there are many possibilities. You can do whatever fits you, but I want to show you the most simple, basic ways to do this so that you can get started right away, and you can always iterate and always make things even more personal to you as you want. But I also want to show you what it takes to get started, and it can be really simple. So first step is I'm going to click create an automation, and the top of that funnel is going to be our form, right? It's going to be that thing that people enter their email in order to get our free thing, in order to get on our email list, right? So I'm going to click create a new form here, and you can see it'll just open to the right, and I can choose form or landing page. A form is what you're going to create to actually put on your website. You can make it a friendly pop-up. There's ways to make that really nice for people so it's not always in their face. You can also embed it on the top of your website, on the side, embed it in blog posts. That's a form. A landing page is something that is going to stand on its own. You can link to it all throughout your website. You can also link to it in all your social media channels. I'm going to do a landing page today just so I can show you the absolute quickest way to get started, even if your email or your website is still under construction, for example. So I'm going to click this template right here for this landing page. And this is going to be our lead magnet, right? And all you need to be able to do is click and type, right? So maybe we've got a free email course, or because that's what Clay is doing, right? So here is that. You all can see this, right? Yes, you can see this, Brian.
Yes.
Yes, you see my landing page. I know some people said no, so I'm going to stop my share real quick and share again just to be sure.
You were still on your sequences. It didn't go to landing page.
Okay, so can you see this now? I think
yes.
Yes. Okay, free email course everyone can see. Yes, thank you. I love you all in the chat. You're the best. All right, so all I did was make a landing page and then clicked free email course, right? Or wrote free email course, right? And here's where you can write coming soon. You don't need to have this all figured out, right? Or this can be a free checklist, or this can be click here to get the prices, right? Whatever works for you. And you can change all of this, customize it, add a picture. I definitely recommend changing this button from subscribe to get the free thing, right? So if my free checklist was about getting more email subscribers, I would make that button get more subscribers, right? So you want to make it really actionable. Remind them what they're going to get when they're subscribing to your email list to get whatever free thing you're going to give them. You can change all the colors, you can change the background, you can make this really personal. I'm changing my button to turquoise because I like to do that sometimes, but you can really go crazy with this. But I just want to show you also that it doesn't have to be complicated. You can start really simple. So I saved this, and as I click view right here, you can see this landing page that I just made is live. And this, what that means is this link right here, I could drop that into the chat right now. I could drop that into my Facebook page right now, and people would be able to go to this landing page immediately and subscribe to the email list on my demo account. It would be very boring for them, but it would work. So this is something you could literally create in 5 minutes after this workshop and start growing your email list and start gathering people for whatever your first idea is. You can experiment, you can even change it. Coming soon, my favorite 2 words in email. Then once you're ready, you'll want to connect your free thing to this form. And there's a couple ways to do that. So I'm going to go to settings here. So let's say what you're going to give away is maybe a PDF pricing guide, because I know a couple of you really liked that. So you would go to settings and then click on incentive email. And where people typically confirm their subscription, you're going to make this a download button, right? So this would be, right, download the pricing guide. This is an automated email that they're going to get every time they subscribe to your landing page. Your form will have the same exact options. And then they'll get a button in their email, so you'll look pretty fancy. And this will be the download button, right? So download the pricing guide. And when they click that button, they will automatically have downloaded whatever you upload here. So I think I have like a checklist. I'm just going to go ahead and upload there. We can pretend that's a PDF pricing guide. But there you go. There it is. If you wanted to redirect them, maybe your pricing guide lived online, or maybe you were giving away some kind of free video that lived online in a private URL, you could also just click that, paste the URL, and then when they click that button, they're going to automatically get redirected to that thing. So that's one way you can connect your free thing to your form. So I'm just going to hit save. And all of that's ready to go. Now, as I mentioned, we're doing a landing page right now, but if you were creating this on a form, everything would be the same. The only difference is that you would go to embed here and you would just copy paste this link wherever you want that form to go on your website. And if that sounds totally scary to you, just click get help here and you can use our live chat and we'll help you get your form up on your website. You don't have to know any technical knowledge to get our help. Just tell us what you're trying to accomplish and we will help you get there. But a landing page is also a really simple way to do that because this link is automatically live and you can start sharing it in all the places that you are online. So the next thing I want to show you is the automated email sequences. And I know some of you are asking about surveys and tags. And I'm going to show you that too. So one thing that can be really great and a really great email to send every single person who comes on your email list is some kind of welcome survey. So I'm going to click add action here, and I'm going to click email sequence, and I'm going to create a new sequence by just typing out here, right? A new welcome sequence for Copyblogger webinar. And I'm going to create that sequence and add the action. And you'll get a replay in a couple hours, by the way. So if this is going too fast and you're like, I want to see this slower, you can go back and reference it, I promise. So I'm going to click welcome sequence here. And here you can see this is how you make an email sequence. So all of those ones I told you, onboarding, survey, evergreen blog or newsletter, email course, sales funnel, this all applies to this basic format. You create a sequence and you add emails, right? It's as simple as that. So a sequence can also be one email. One email is good enough. Like Brian was saying, this does not need to be complicated. So I want to show you one really great email to send, and that's a welcome email. So I'm going to change this to published, and I want this to come immediately. So I'm going to change this to 0 days so that this email comes right after they get the free thing. And I'm just going to call it something like quick question. You can use whatever subject line you want. But I want to give you a very basic sense of how those surveys work that some of you were talking about. And if you wrote down during our workshop, maybe 2 particular categories your people might fall under, this is where that could come in handy. And if any of you want to share what those categories are in the chat, I would love to know. What are some of the survey things you'd like to know? Like, is someone interested in this or this? Or are they struggling with this or this? Or are they interested in this service or that? Let me know, because I would love to see. So one example, maybe you write for companies and maybe you can help them with their blogging services, or maybe you can help them when it comes to writing really great landing pages. I'm just making this up, right? So you could say something in the email, right? You wouldn't want to just start it like this, but please click on the statement that best describes you. I want to show you the very basics of this, right? So maybe I need help with my company's blog. And then maybe I need help writing my company's landing page. And maybe you have an option for both too. But I just want to show you the basics. I want you to replace these 2 options with your 2 options. What would be 2 questions? And again, it could be more than 2, but I want to show you the basics. So I need help with my company's blog. So you're going to have them click on the statement that best describes them. So how you turn this into a very sophisticated survey that will help you learn a lot about the people on your email list is you're going to link the whole statement. So you're going to click link, insert link, and then you're going to tag subscribers who click this link. And tag just means it's going to group them together in a category. So maybe later you just want to send one email to only people interested in blogging services. You could just email those people. This is one of the best things to do with email that really will make you stand out, is you're really going to just focus on who people are, what they need, and send them what they want. So I'm going to tag these people as blog. And now when they click on that link, they are going to go somewhere. And so where you can have them go is you can have them go to your website. Maybe you create a custom thank you page. You can also use our link here, app.convertkit.com/preferences confirmed. It'll take them to a page we created for you that just said, thanks, we've got your preferences, right? And that will make a lot of sense too. And you can use the same link over and over again. The thing you want to be different is the tag. That's what will put people in different categories. And Ashley had a great question. Do people answer this stuff? They sure do, Ashley. I use this all the time. I did a survey a couple of weeks ago where I had 4 different kind of course ideas that I was playing around with. I emailed my list. Which one sounds most interesting to you? Boom. I got my clear winner right away. Everyone answered it. It's kind of fun to just click a thing. It's a really kind of easy survey, right? Because they don't have to click a link, then open another page, then answer another survey, then click another button. It works really great. And again, Ashley, your lead magnet is going to be focusing in on the people who this would be really relevant to. So they are going to answer because they're excited to get your help. So if I click insert, you can see that becomes a link. And then I'll do it one more time a little quickly so you can see, right? So I'm going to link this landing page one, insert link, same URL, tag subscribers. The difference here is going to tag these people with landing page. So someone's going to get this email. Whatever they click, they will then be put into my people who need blog help category or people who need landing page help, right? So I'm going to go ahead and save that. And I'm just going to have my first email, my first sequence be just one email. And if you're just getting started and you set up a really great lead magnet and then one welcome email to start, and you figure the rest out later. That is really great. You will be ahead of a lot of people. So I want you to remember this too. It can be as simple as that. That sale I just got a week ago was from one automated email. Okay. So this does not need to be complicated. You just want to have at least one thing going. You can always add to it. You can always build on it. So I want to show you the next level of how you can really go pro with this. And then I'm going to share you some free stuff we have so you can start trying some of this out for yourself. So using that example of two different categories, maybe people who are interested, who need blogging help versus people who need landing help, we're going to pull out those tags. So this, I'm going to make an event and say that when the blog tag is added, I want them to go here. And then when the landing page is added, I want them to get a different email sequence. So you can see I've got these tags here that I created. And now we're building a bit of a more personal funnel. So people get this welcome sequence, they tell you which path they want to go down. I need help with blogs. I need help with landing pages. And again, whatever your categories, put those in your mind here. And then you're going to give them specific emails related just to what they need help with. You can already see here how this is going to make you stand out so much more in these automated emails that once you write once, you never have to write again. So same thing. You're going to make an email sequence and you're going to create a new one, right? So this is going to be my blogger sales sequence, right? We're going to create that, click add action, and then it looks just like that other welcome sequence, but instead I'm going to add maybe more than just one email for this because I want to share with someone what I can do for them, right? But that first email isn't going to be, hey, buy my stuff, hire me, right? We're going to do what we talked about, whereas you're going to want to use the sequence to teach. But instead of teaching about all the things you do or all of the things about copywriting, for example, you're going to teach like blog related stuff, right? You're going to establish yourself as an expert in this field and you're going to help them even if they don't hire you. So you want to focus on teaching, and you can see this is, I'm going to make it publish and I want this to happen after one day. And then next email, again, make it publish. I want this to happen again a day later. It's not a bad thing to email people once a day for like the first week they join your email list because that is when they're most excited. Then maybe you move to once a week, once every other week, depending on what you have the bandwidth for, but consistency is the most important. So find some kind of schedule and stick to it. People will really love that and they'll come to rely on it. So again, I recommend teaching. I think I have my teaching shirt on now, right? Teach everything you know. That's our buddy to create every day. Because those are the two things we see help people make a living online. And Clay said, first email should be a value bomb. I love that, Clay. Thanks for being here today, Clay. Yes, exactly. You want to really train them that your emails are good, that you're giving value. And that doesn't mean it has to be really long, but you want to make sure you're really giving them something that's going to help them, whether or not they buy from you, whether or not they hire from you. Keep teaching. And if you're wondering, well, what do I teach? In this workshop we did, when it comes to those frequently asked questions, those objections, think about what you could teach that would answer those for people. For example, I know someone who makes a living online decorating cakes in Australia, and she uses email to do this. And one of her automated emails is, the subject line is, why do cakes cost so much? It's like a blog style kind of email, question mark. And then she does this really beautiful educational email about, here's all the things that go into a cake, right? Someone has to buy the candy and it costs this much. And then you buy the flour and it costs this much. And it just is really educating you on, oh, wow, like this is why a cake costs so much. It's not someone who's just wants lots of money. Like there's a lot of expenses that go into a big event cake. And she teaches you. And through that, you're entertained. You know more than you did before. That will help you no matter who you hire. But really, you start to bond with that person because you're like, oh, they're helping me. And they're not trying to shout at me to hire them. That is actually way more appealing than someone who is really, really in your face about it. And then of course, though, at some point, you're going to want to tell them how they can hire you, right? And this, again, can be really great if you open with more teaching. I've also seen it really, really great when people share a little bit of their story. What inspired you to start this business? Or share a story of someone you've already helped, right? Make it about them, how you solve problems, and then share, hey, here's how to hire me, right? This has been my favorite thing because I've read so many emails from people making a full-time living online, whether they're freelance whether they're selling products. And what I see time and time again are that their sales emails are not like some special, scary kind of email that doesn't sound like them. The ones that I see work really well, they're writing like they talk. They sound like themselves, and there's not a lot of hard selling. It's more like, P.S., here's how to work with me. By the way, here's the thing, and here's how it's helped people, right? I know a lot of you already know how to do this because a lot of you are already copywriters, so you got this. But if any of you are nervous about that, when you teach first, when you add value first, when you get to know them first, it really takes all the pressure off the sales part, and you just kind of tell them how they can work with you. And by that point, they are just ready and they're excited because they're reading your third or fourth email. You know, you can be really confident and you can be really specific. So if this is that category of someone needing blogging services, you can maybe show a story of someone's blog you helped, right? And how it helped their business, right? And you may be thinking, oh my gosh, then I got to write a whole other email sequence for people interested in landing pages. You do not. So you can also do one of my favorite things in the world on ConvertKit is you click Blogger sales sequence or whatever sequence you want, go to settings, and then you're going to scroll down here and click duplicate. So that will duplicate the whole sequence, right? And then you can go see right here, Copyblogger sales sequence. I could change that to, or copy of blogger sales sequence. I'm going to change that to landing page. And then you could go in and just make edits based on the changes for that other category, right? And then what you could do is just add that. It would be already populated here, and you could add that new one to come for anyone who needs landing page help, for example. And then last thing, for any of you thinking, oh, I'd love to have some kind of automated monthly newsletter or weekly newsletter so that my current clients don't forget about me, so that my new clients don't forget about me. Again, same thing. And you could even end your sales funnel with this too, because just because people don't buy from you right away doesn't mean they're not going to want to hire you eventually. Again, you're a pro at this, right? You just make an evergreen blog, and I'm going to create that new sequence here. It's going to look just like everything else we've done. I'm going to click on that, and here we go. You can start to build your evergreen blog or evergreen newsletter, and you can build it as you go. You don't have to have it all done. This is what I'm doing right now. I'm about 3 months ahead, and then whenever I get an idea, I just go and I add it here, and people will get it. And what's really great is, again, you write your best emails once, and then everyone gets them, and no one misses your best stuff. And so how this works, for example, if you're going to do a weekly newsletter, you would make this publish, and then after, it still says after 1 day, but you'd pick a day. Like I send mine on Wednesdays, so I would just uncheck all the other days, and now this blog, this evergreen newsletter is going to come to them on a Wednesday. And then the next one, again, just same thing. Take away the rest of the days, and then now I've got a weekly newsletter only on Wednesdays, right? So that's something you can do as well. That's a really, really great use of automations to make sure people don't forget about you. And you can also have little things in these emails like PS, right? Here's where you can click to hire me or to buy this, or hey, know anyone looking for this? You can give them this free thing, and you can link even to your landing page or to your lead magnet. So you can play around with a lot of that. And Ashley said, do you need a website to take advantage of this? It's one of the reasons I showed you a landing page, right? So you can get started even before you have a website. Absolutely. And we can absolutely help you with that. And I want to show you how you can do some of this for free. So we have some things to give you, and one of them is a free month of ConvertKit. This is not something you can get on our website. This is just a very special thing for people like you who spend an hour on a webinar. That's so flipping cool. And so if you go to convertkit.com/copyblogger424, because it's April 24, this is a link that is just for right now, just for this workshop, convertkit.com/copyblogger424, you will see where you can get a free month just for you. And when you do that, like Charlie already did, go Charlie, you will also get some other free bonuses, and you'll see those in your inbox in about an hour or so after this workshop. I will be personally sending them to you. So you will get some bonuses as a thank you for being here and for setting up your free month live. So if you set up your free month, these are the bonuses that you will get. One of them is this ebook Authority. This was written by Nathan Barry, our founder. It is the best book when it comes to earning a living online and doing it in the way that I just showed you, where it's all about teaching, all about adding value first and building trust with your audience and building a sense of authority in what you do, even if you're not an expert and know all the things, right? But really making sure that you're valuable to people. This is such a good book. You will get the e-copy, the audiobook, and case studies of people making six figures online to give you a sense of how some people are doing some of the things that we've been talking about. You will also get an exclusive invitation to a webinar that Brian and Sonia are going to be holding. Brian, do you want to tell people a little bit more about what that's going to be?
Yeah, so basically we're going to try to drill down even deeper on the elements of each piece of content or message within a sequence, specifically for people who are selling professional services. I know we have a lot of freelance writers on, and but also some other consultants, anyone who basically is marketing online to attract clients. We're going to kind of walk you through how you may want to consider setting this up. So for example, we'll go through top of funnel content and what is that supposed to accomplish? Let's say you're using inexpensive Facebook ads. Do you lead? Do you advertise content that has a content upgrade within it? Or do you just advertise the lead magnet, right? These are questions that people have. We have some thoughts on that. And then more importantly, drilling down into who you're actually trying to reach, putting yourself in their shoes, and then your sequence just becomes a step-by-step journey until you get to a point where you've educated them enough to do business with you, and then you ask for the sale or ask for the consultation, ask for the call, right?
Yes.
Then we'll have advice for, okay, so they didn't sign up right away. What's the best way to continue to stay in touch with them? And also remind them that if they, at the end of the email, I know both Sonia and I used to do this back in our client days. Every email after a certain point has value in it. And at the bottom, there's a PS. Oh, by the way, you can hire me here. Or you can call me, we can get a consultation. How about we do a site audit? Something like that. So we're really
I love
trying
that.
to drill down and get as specific as we can, given that. Oh man, I had the microphone up. See, I keep trying to avoid making noise, and then.
No, you're good. We could hear you. It was just really low.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, we're going to try to drill down and get specific as specific as we can, in the sense that it's almost like a coaching call. I don't think we can get as close to, actual consulting, but we will have Q&A for your specific questions. So it's going to be a really, I think, high impact bookend to what you're learning today.
Yes, me too. Can I come? This is going to be great. So what will happen is everyone who sets up the free month, we will have your email addresses, and we will be making sure that Brian and Sonia have that so that they can invite you to this webinar. So the only people who are going to be getting that invitation will be those who set up their free month. So definitely do that. So you'll get authority. You'll get an invitation to this really amazing webinar. And then those of you who are here live, who also set up your free month right now while we're on the live workshop, you will also get this $200 product to profit masterclass. So this is a masterclass taught by people who made over $2 million. And they share with you in this really no fluff class how they did it. And module 1 is such a great module after this workshop because it talks about growing your audience. So you make this lead magnet, you may be wondering, how do I get more leads? How do I get more people to sign up for my email list? Module 1 really, really lays out exactly how to do this. And then I also recommend skipping to module 5, pricing and positioning. That module blew my mind. So it'll really give you an amazing idea of thinking about how are you pricing and positioning what you do in a way that might very well help you shift your business model a little bit. So I love this one, highly recommend it. So all you need to do is set up your free month and you will get this bonus emailed to you with all the other bonuses a couple hours after this workshop. And if you are already a ConvertKit customer, I see some of you already are, yay. The free month is just for those people starting out for the first time, but all the other bonuses, if you're already a ConvertKit customer, we will be emailing those to you as well. So these are all the things. Brian, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I just saw a question, and I think it was, I think this is what they mean, which is, will the workshop that Sonia and I are doing be ConvertKit specific? Absolutely. I mentioned in the announcement for this webinar that we are switching to ConvertKit. We're actually in process. And the reason we're doing that is because email marketing has to be powerful, but it has to be simple enough for writers like Sonia and I, and who are non-technical. And that's really what we're looking for. We don't want to have to consult with some more technical person on the team just to set up a sequence, right? So we're basically in the same boat as you, except both of us have been doing the content part for 20 years. And that's, I think, the most valuable part, but it will be in the context of how to do this in ConvertKit.
Yes, awesome. So you will get that webinar and all of these things for free just for going to convertkit.com/copyblogger424 and setting up your free month. And yes, Heather, you can sign up with a different email than the email you used for the workshop. You will still get all of the things. We'll know who you are. And this is what you'll see. So you will set up your ConvertKit account. You'll use whatever email you like to set up your account initially, and then you'll create your password. That's what's happening right now. So you will get a free month. In fact, when you set up your account, not only will you get all those bonus emailed to you in a couple hours, you will also get instant access into ConvertKit, which is pretty exciting. And you will be able to start making a funnel right away if you like, making a landing page right away, and start playing around with this. And you can also see we have a checklist to help you set everything up too. And I'll tell you about another free thing you could get as well. And yeah, Charlie, no credit card is required for your first free month, which is actually pretty new, and we're pretty excited about that. So what you will see in the top right-hand corner is, you can see in the screenshot, right, 30 days remaining. So that's what you'll want to keep an eye on, especially if you make a funnel, right? We want to make sure that that keeps running for you after those 30 days if you want to stay with us, which I hope you do. So that 30 days remaining, that's where you'll want to check in on. And whenever you're ready, maybe it's on day 29, maybe it's on day 3. Maybe you're like, this is awesome. I want to be like Brian. I want to switch over for good. Then all you'll need to do to make sure your emails keep sending, your funnels keep running after 30 days, is you'll click on that 30 days remaining, and it will give you this option. It'll say keeps email sending by adding your billing. And again, it'll tell you how long your free trial you still have on your free trial, and you can cancel at any time. So my recommendation is, as soon as you know, yep, this is for me, go ahead and enter that in when you're ready, so that everything keeps sending for you. But you will get the bonuses, you will get access to the free month, no matter what. And yes, Charlie, such a good question. For those of you who had over 1,000 email subscribers, which there were actually a lot of you, right? Email help@convertkit.com. Tell them you just set up the free month with Isa and Copyblogger, and tell them how many emails you want to import, and they will change your free trial so that you're going to have a free month up to whatever amount that you need, and then you will be able to do that. So we gotcha. No matter how many you have, you will still get a free month. And so I encourage you to definitely email us about that. And I also encourage you to set a reminder. Set a reminder in 20 days or 29 days to remind yourself that your trial ends, so that you can keep things going if it's something you really like. And I hope it is. And also set aside some real time for setup. So as I mentioned with automations, once you're done, you're done. But you will want to set aside some time to create it initially. So that is what I encourage you to do. And you all are good at that. You set aside an hour for a webinar. You're the superstars. So keep up that good work. Keep doing what you're doing. And now schedule yourself another hour to go through that ConvertKit checklist, to set up maybe your first automated email, right? Or maybe for those of you who already have a list, maybe you want to email them a link trigger survey, right? And just start getting to know a little bit more about them. That's a really great way to start. That's what I did when I switched over to ConvertKit a long time ago. That was the first thing I did. I imported all my subscribers, And I sent them a link trigger survey, and it was just so informative. And also that checklist I mentioned, if you set up your account, check all those check boxes, get the basics going, we will also give you another free thing. And you'll see a button pop up that says claim your free gift, and we will mail you a t-shirt like mine. You can be like me and pick the blue teach everything you know one, or you can get whatever you like. You can match my wall and choose create every day. You can also pick your color and your size, and we will mail you a t-shirt. And they're very soft, by the way. I like to brag about that. They're not those like gritty free t-shirts that are really uncomfortable. They're actually really soft. So Sonia, you want a free t-shirt? You can get a free t-shirt. Just set up your ConvertKit account and that button will show up for you. And we're here to help you all along the way as well. And Sharon, great question. Can you make your automated emails personalized with your logo? Absolutely. There's a place in those emails to add your images. There's also templates. So if you want to create a customized template for your own brand using your logo, there are ways to do that. And as I mentioned, our live chat, as well as help@convertkit.com, we are here to help you all along the way. So like Brian said, why do people choose ConvertKit? Why do people switch to ConvertKit? I get this question a lot, right? Because there's a lot of email service providers out there. And these are the reasons that customers have told me over and over again. So I did not make up these reasons. These are what our customers tell us over and over. And the one I hear personally the most is number 5, the trainings, the live chat, the people behind help@convertkit.com. They are real people. They are my friends, Renee and Nicole, and just so many amazing people who truly care about helping creators earn a living online. We take that very seriously. And we know that sometimes that means you're really, really good at your thing. That doesn't mean you're also really, really good at understanding all the tech of email. That's our job. So we want to help you do that so that you can create more. And so we are here to help you all along the way. Whatever it is you need, whatever personalized thing you need to do, we're going to help you do that. So that's one of the things that we do. Brian, anything else you want to add when it comes to paying for something like ConvertKit, making that a part of your business expenses for those who want to say, oh, after the free month? What advice would you have for them as they're thinking about making that decision maybe for the first time, or those who are maybe thinking about switching over like you did?
Just get in there. Like Joyce is asking, she doesn't have an email list yet. So she's worried that she won't be able to take advantage of the free month unless she creates a small list. Get in there and understand how things work. And then the combination of that with the Copyblogger workshop that will correspond with this, I'll tell you how to get your list started. And it'll go pretty quickly. But I would spend time inside ConvertKit going through the tutorials and the knowledge base and all that, play around with I really love the way that you have the graphical interface to create sequences. It's so much easier to keep track of this journey that you're trying to take people on with that interface. So that's the first thing I would do for everyone, is obviously get in there and figure out how things work. And I think then you'll realize, hey, I can do really cool stuff with this. And then, that's when you want to make sure you import your list over, or since you're starting a new list, hit the ground running.
Love that. Yes. And we have lots of ways that we can help you in trainings as well when it comes to growing your email list. And Katie said, I love that segmenting and automation is actually something you can figure out. Those features are like hieroglyphics with, I'll say, other services. She mentioned some others, but I'm really glad that you find this really simple. That's my goal, is to make it really simple for you. And that's our goal. That's why we exist, to help creators earn a living. And that's what that means to us creators, people who are creating things, who are doing this business on their own or with a very small team, and they don't have the time or the money to also be email experts or to hire consultants for thousands of dollars to figure this out for them. So we really want to help people harness the power of email, the power that email has to help you earn a living, but also through building really authentic relationships through what you write, through teaching people, and just making it really simple so you can personalize things, right? And do it once and then have it run for you. So DUS said, I'm still starting this up, so this is a godsend. Thanks. Oh, thank you. And thank you all for coming. This has been so wonderful. As a reminder, this is your last chance to get that $200 product to profit masterclass. That is only for those of you who set up your free month live. So why not, right? This is such a great course when it comes to really seeing what the pros do to earn a living online. And it will give you so many great ideas, especially if you're also looking to grow your email list. That first module, it's like 20 minutes too, which is what I love about that course, is you can really get through it in a day, even if you want, and learn so much about what people do to earn a living online. So convertkit.com/copyblogger424. If you haven't gone already, go there now. If you have already, like many of you are already telling us, tell us in the chat. I give you a webinar, high five. It's not lame at all. And let us know what you're doing. And if you have any other questions, this is your last call. Put them in the Q&A box. Brian and I will check that out before we go. But if you've already set up your free month, if you don't have any other questions, I just want to thank you so much for being here. And if you have any more questions that you think of as you're setting up your free month, we're not going anywhere. help@convertkit.com, and use that live chat as well. You will get a replay of this in your inbox in a couple hours, as well as those bonuses. You will get those bonuses in about an hour or so. I will email them all to you. If you don't see those bonuses by tomorrow, just email help@convertkit.com. Let them know you're on the workshop yesterday with Issa and Brian. They know who you are. You're kind of a big deal, and they know what bonuses you're supposed to get, and they will give them to you. So don't worry, we've got you covered. Thank you all so much for being here. I'm going to go ahead and check out these questions. So it looks like Vanessa and Ben are just rocking it. So we might only have, we might actually not have any. So let me see. Joriana already set up your free month. So yay. And you've already got your t-shirt going. That is awesome. The Product to Profit Masterclass, again, you will get the bonus email to you, whether you're a current ConvertKit customer or if you set up your free month right now. You will see that in your inbox by the end of today. And if you wake up tomorrow morning and you're like, where is it? I did the things Issa told me to do. Email help@convertkit.com, tell them about this workshop, and they will take care of you. And Kim is asking about WordPress. So everything should work easy, right? Yeah, Kim, we integrate very, very closely with WordPress. We have a WordPress plugin. So if you search on your WordPress plugins for ConvertKit, just download that plugin, and it's literally just a drop-down menu, and you can pick, for example, which form you want to be on your website, and it will appear. So it's very simple, but really any website you have, it's very simple to get a ConvertKit form up on it. And if you have any questions or you get stuck anywhere, don't get frustrated, just chat with us. That is my motto. We are here for you. It's about the software, but it's also about helping you use it. So don't get lost in a frustration funnel, but let us help you make the good kind. And yes, we work with Wix as well, Nelson. It looks like those are all of our questions. Vanessa and Ben already answered 60 of them. So thank you, Ben and Vanessa. Please thank them for me and for Brian. Tell Vanessa and Ben how much you've appreciated them. Kim loves the free t-shirt, and Sonia really liked my don't get lost in a frustration funnel. Thank you, Sonia. That's the first time I've ever said that. So that was just for you. Thank you so much, Brian, for inviting me. Anything else you'd like to say before we go?
No, I'm just glad that everyone who showed up live, we appreciate your time. Obviously, there will be a replay. I see the recording light, so hopefully everything comes out.
It will. We got it.
Yeah. And as far as when will Sonia and I's workshop, happen, I would say in a couple weeks at the latest. We want to make sure and do it while you're still in your free month. So afterward, you can immediately go in there and start implementing, right? So that's the idea.
Yes, love it. And you all will get invitations to that as long as you set up your free month. So go ahead and do that if you haven't already. Copyblogger 424. So convertkit.com/copyblogger424. Thank you all so much for coming. Thank you, Philip and Natalie. Natalie said, this is awesome. Thank you, Natalie. That really means a lot. I thank you all so much for coming. Thank you, Brian, for having me. And I hope the bonuses help. I hope ConvertKit really helps. And again, any questions you have, just ask we've got the chat, and we've got help@convertkit.com. So thank you all so much. Enjoy your free month. And thank you, Brian. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. That was great.
Bye.